Hi and welcome to WoW Flash. This is my weekly bit where I talk about all the news points of interest from the past 7 days around Warcraft, and biggest one and the most to talk about, I suppose, is the developer Q&A. But this was no lame duck one. It was a surprise to me because last week Ian Hazacostas did that video, like the review of 2017. It's like when I'm thinking, not the end of 2017, and it's like, well, what's it all about? And people are saying, well, it's promoting Blizzcon. I'm thinking, barely even mentioned it. But what I did think at least it meant was that we're not going to be getting another Q&A before BlizzCon, so the next time we're going to find out anything substantial is BlizzCon. Not quite true. They straight away followed it up with an actual live Q&A. So there's quite a few very interesting points in there. Maybe good, maybe bad, but I think I need to talk about that in not just one video, but at least there's a couple of points where I think I want to do just a video just on them, and then maybe talk about the other ones as a general one. But one feature that is really of interest, I think it's going to potentially interest people, is going to be they're thinking about making the Argus whistle account-wide. At the moment, of course, you know, you get revered on Argusian Reach with one character. The whistle's really useful on Argus. But then you're thinking, oh, I've got to do the rep on the others as well. No, I can't be arsed with that. So I think they're thinking of making that account-wide. I hope it doesn't come too late. It's one of these things where you sort of think to yourself, it's no good if it's coming at the point at which we're going to leave Argus and that's suddenly the old content. We're going to go somewhere else. Back to the Broken Shore, hopefully. The other thing is the Dungeon Invitational, the Mythic Plus Dungeon Invitational. Blizz have been talking a little bit about that, saying they're quite interested in that. They're wanted to sort of push that because they thought that's been going really well. But there have been some issues of development. Some things have been coming up, some strategies which they thought, you know, in general terms isn't too bad. But when you put it into a competition type thing, I suppose it's because it gives too many advantages to taking a particular class or spec. And one of them, which may well be something they develop in the future, it sounds like they probably would, is to do with battle reses. So you do notice when you're pushing a high key, if you don't have battle reses in your party, you're not likely to do as well. And some dungeon groups will take 5 battle reses, for example, because in raids there's a limit to battle reses that you can use. In a dungeon there isn't, and it could be argued with a dungeon only allowing 5 players in at all. Even playing a class that can battle res gives you a massive advantage, just as playing a class that can cast heroism or time warp or hysteria also gives you a massive advantage. There's several things that are so amazingly useful in dungeons that being a class that plays that almost gives you an automatic invite. But at least to sort of help redress the balance a little bit, they might put in some sort of limiting feature, a bit like with raids, on battle reses, so you can't just load up your party with battle reses, basically. The schedule for BlizzCon has been released, and the main point of interest for me is going to be that slot, which in almost exactly 28 days' time from the time I'm doing this is entitled World of Warcraft, What's Next? Now, I don't know whether they mean what's next in Legion or what's next expansion. I'm hoping both are going to be discussed at BlizzCon. I don't know what the one that's going to be on, from my point of view, the Friday evening, I guess, in California where it's been held, the Friday, I don't know, afternoonish. But that is what I'm going to be in. I may even do a stream then, just so that I can discuss what I think about it live with you guys as well. But that's in 4 weeks and a couple of hours. And the other thing is something that I suppose I should talk about. This goes back to last week. So I was talking about, and a lot of people got this impression, and we sort of got the wrong end of the stick, that if you complete a couple of achievements on a character, that world quests on Argus and invasions on Argus would be unlocked. And then, you know, I actually said last week, doesn't seem to be working though. And other people saying doesn't seem to be working. And I was wondering if it's just one of those buggy things where, seeing as it's been implemented, you have to do it on another character to unlock it. Turns out we've got completely the wrong end of the stick. Now, I have to say, because I was going by a blue response. I wasn't going by what anyone had said verbally. I was going by an actual text thing. And I do have to say it seemed to be a bit misleading, but we certainly got the wrong end of the stick. It's not the intention that these things will be unlocked. Now, I'm just going to read straight from here, so again, we've got no misunderstandings. Someone has said on a forum post, blah, blah, blah. And to be blunt, what we are asking for is what was stated in the Q&A. Blizzard set the expectation, has not delivered on that expectation, and as yet, we are still to receive any communication as to what the hell is going on. Very strongly worded. So the blue response goes, I understand your frustration here. I get it from the having outs perspective. However, spreading misinformation is not helpful. Now, again, here's my thing. I'm not talking about what was said in the Q&A, by the way. It may well be said that nothing was promised in any Q&A. I don't remember it anyway. I'm going by, as I say, a hotfix note that went on the forums as to this is now in place. And it did seem to strongly suggest, get this achievement, World Quests unlocked account-wide. Apparently what it means is some World Quests are unlocked account-wide. So what it says is, it was never actually said that all of the World Quests would be account-wide. No, the word all wasn't used. But when you say, get this achievement and World Quests are unlocked account-wide, the implication is that it's all of them. You know, maybe what you should have said is, get this achievement unlocked and some World Quests become account-wide. Would have been better, I think. But, okay, we can sort of say, you know, that was just a misunderstanding there. It says, in the Q&A, Ian elaborated on what would and wouldn't and stated the intentions behind it. I don't recall that, and as I say, that's not what I'm going from. He specifically noted that World Quests may be account-wide, however, the vast majority would not be, as it didn't make sense to have something account-wide for a character that couldn't access the area or quest as yet. As I say, I'm not taking anything from a Q&A and what he said because I'm going by the text that came out last week. So I thought it was a little bit misleading, but the bottom line is, it doesn't really matter arguing about who said what. The bottom line is, it's not the simple case that we've now got a situation where you do the achievements on one character and everything else basically opens up for the other characters. I think it's disappointing, I have to say. I think it's disappointing that, again, another artificial barrier has been placed in the way of people who like to play alts. But that's just my opinion. But there is one thing, again, I'm hoping this isn't going to be a misunderstanding. Another thing they have said is that at the moment, doing the dungeon Seat of the Triumvirate on any level, heroic upwards, is required to unlock a particular piece of content, and all these little bits of content you have to do the quests to be able to unlock the world quests. They have now removed that, so they say anyway. They've removed that from the requirement to unlock that. So if you're on a character and you're trying to unlock the sort of western, northern, I suppose, parts of Makari, when you get to a particular point, you don't have to do the dungeon to unlock the rest of it. So that's something, I suppose. I don't really think it's a major thing because it didn't take long. I mean, you could just sign up to a heroic, couldn't you? It didn't take that long. But that is something that, again, is in blue text, seems fairly unequivocal, so we'll see about that one. That's pretty much it for the news for this week. As I say, there's more in-depth news to come because I am going to add my commentary to some of the things Blizzard have said. I might even have a few suggestions for them. In terms of streaming, I normally stream on Saturday afternoon from my time, by the way. It tends to be quite early in like North America. Unfortunately, I have work tomorrow. I'm going to be getting up and going into work at the same time as I do 5 days a week. We have an open event. These are quite common in my college where I work, especially around autumn. So this may disrupt a few streams now and then. It's only going to disrupt half a dozen the whole year. It's just that there tends to be a high concentration of them round about the winter months. And the first of them is tomorrow, so I'm going to be out working all morning and afternoon. So I won't be able to stream, unfortunately, and when I get back, I will have to do some videos, so unfortunately that's that. But I will be back to streaming on Monday. If you just want to chat when I'm doing my raid, we'll be doing the Mythic Kill Jade in progress then. Usual time there. It is updated. I did update it on Twitch, so if you go to my Twitch channel, you will be able to see the details of the stream there. And as soon as Saturday has passed, I'll put up the new one because I'll be back on next Saturday doing some casual streaming as well. So thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.